before I met you, I never wanted to get married, or at least I had this idea, since it hadn't happened, that it possibly wasn't in the works for me. Yet, once we met, you threw a curveball at me, because I think it was 2 weeks later when I was telling you that I wanted to marry you.
Yes, I was taken back by that. I thought that was pretty nice of you, because I think it was about, it was about 3 weeks in. I was thinking, oh my God, he already says he wants to marry me. Even though, because I only say that because I do remember you telling me you didn't want to be married. I don't think I ever had thoughts of marriage. It's not that I didn't want to be married. I think I was just okay if I wasn't, but I was also okay if I were to be married.
Did you understand where I was coming from by me not wanting to get married? Or did you see it as, no, you should want to get married?
No. I never thought of, no, you should want to get married. I wouldn't have pressured you into doing that. By no means.
But you were looking forward to get married, because I remember you told me that you went on Etsy and was buying all these different things in preparation for marriage.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that wild, actually? Yeah, I did go on a little spending spree on Etsy and was trying to get everything ready.
You said that it may have been your OCD.
I think it was.
And thinking that you wanted to have everything ready.
Yes.
Lined up.
But I wasn't in a hurry to get married, though, by no means. I wasn't. I think just at that moment, I guess it was an OCD type moment where I was thinking, oh, I have to have this and have this ready and get that ready, and I want it to look this way. But then that quickly faded. Yeah. And but I would never have pressured you into getting married, because I remember your mom asking, oh, when are you guys going to get married? And I was thinking, I don't know. I wouldn't really have cared. I know it would have bothered my parents if I didn't get married, but I
thought I can't speak.
Once again, you can't speak.
I felt as though I was kind of obligated. Not that I didn't want to marry you.
Wow.
But if I chose not to, then there probably would have been some commotion about it.
Oh, yes.
Because
it would have
they're
been.
more...
Not from me.
Traditional?
Yes.
But I will say that I didn't want to get married, but of course once I met you, that completely changed, and I did want to marry you, though maybe not in the sense of traditional marriage. I guess I saw it as, and I'm glad your family was there, but for me, the smaller, the more intimate.
Yes, I agree.
And so I wouldn't have minded if it would have just been me, you, and a couple witnesses, and that's it. And in some ways, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was small.
Because it wasn't a big wedding. It was ran live on YouTube for relatives that couldn't be there.
Yeah.
But completely understanding, though, because it was kind of last minute.
It was. I never wanted a big wedding either, and I'm glad we had a small wedding, but it could have been even smaller.
Yeah.
But why didn't you want to never get married?
Well, I was already in my mid-30s. I didn't have kids up until that point. Have never gotten anybody pregnant or anything, and so I just had this idea, well, if it's not in the works for me, then that's completely fine. And not that I was upset about it. I wasn't saying that out of frustration, like, well, whatever, if it's not for me, not as that. Rather, I was kind of cool with it in that, for the most part, people get married and have kids, but maybe for me, that's not what's going to happen, and I'm completely fine with that, and I'll try to make the most of not being married, because being alone helped me to be productive. I felt even more so than when I was with somebody. Not now, not with you, but prior, right? I always felt that the more time I had for myself, the more I was able to get done. And so I didn't mind that. I felt as though I could get lost in being alone for the good.
Yes.
Though that may not be true with everybody, because somebody might say, that sounds sad. And I guess in some ways it was during holidays such as Valentine's
and that's it. I don't think that
Christmas and such, but not really. I wasn't.
For you, I can't see that affecting you.
I wasn't sappy as that.
No. So. I couldn't see that affecting you. But so you just never thought about, I know you said it's because, but you just never thought about marriage though. You were just like, okay, well, you said if it wasn't for you, but were you ever thinking, well, if I find the right person, then I would get married? Or were you still thinking, even if I found the right person?
Yeah, I always looked at it as, hey, if there's someone that's for me, it'll happen, and my heart will tell me that it's her, but I wasn't necessarily wanting it to happen.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I was kind of, I don't know, I guess I was letting everything happen as it came and not really trying to force anything.
Force it, yes.
And so, even us, right, we met on Match.
Yeah.
And in some ways, yeah, I was on there, but I wasn't on there with, on the hunt for somebody. It was just kind of, well, we'll see what's out there. And so
that's funny.
that was you. But now that I am married,
yeah, how are you liking that?
Well, shit. What did I get myself into? No. Now that I am married, I think to myself, how could I have thought anything else other than to be married?
Oh, wow, that's really sweet.
Even though I was productive in being alone, at the same time, I do feel complete now that I'm with you. But it's, I don't know. I don't take this for granted, because sometimes somebody will sell you themselves as one thing, and then they become another.
Yes. Oh.
And you could be level-headed, and all it takes is for you to settle with the wrong person, and then it'll just hinder your future, because you just got to be really selective with whom you're with and not get
that is a bit frightening.
Impatient.
Yeah, that's a bit frightening to think about, that because what if you are patient and the person you're dating or whatever is really calm, but then once you get married they are a totally different person. But I guess that's the chances you have to take. Wow.
Yeah, because say if they get comfortable, or they feel they can maybe do more, or
we all get a little comfortable with each other though.
Yeah.
But I guess it's different if you get too comfortable and then you start, then the bad side, I guess if you want to call it bad side, starts to show.
Yeah.
But then what do you do? That can be complicated.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because that's where I was going with this, and that somebody can sell you themselves as one thing, and then they change, and then sometimes it's a messed up situation, and there's possibly kids involved, and so it's not as easy to just leave. But yeah, I'm thankful that that's not the situation.
I'm thankful that
in.
we're not. And I don't get when people say, well, I guess I can understand when people say marriage can be hard, but I think it's only hard if you make it hard, obviously, right?
Not necessarily, because say if you're easygoing,
yes,
but I'm a dick,
yes,
then okay, you shouldn't have to. Sometimes it's, I guess what I'm trying to say is, sometimes it's uncalled for. You've done nothing to me for me to be malice towards you.
That's just their own personal problem.
Yeah. Or sometimes one can bring it out of another.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
If I'm a negative person, and by me being so negative, it could possibly rub off on you into where once you were easygoing, it could be that you're losing it because you're with somebody that's crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't even have to be with marriage. That could be with any type of relationship, friendship. Yeah.
Also, too, I believe also another reason why I didn't want to get married was because I've seen so many marriages.
So many marriages.
So many marriages end up broken.
Yes, I've seen that too.
Sometimes where the marriage has already been done and they're separated, whatever, but sometimes they're still going through it, so they'll live with the other person for them having kids together, yet they're not happy with one another, but they're dealing with each other, which is unfortunate too. And so I think I saw a lot of that, and so that kind of put me on my toes to make sure that that wasn't going to happen to me, because I saw it as, let me not have to go through it myself, rather let me pick up on everybody else's mistakes so I don't make the same one, instead of me being impatient and being with somebody solely because I think they're attractive. That's not the
no, that's
not the right way to go about it, because there's a lot of cute people out there with am I trying to say bad intentions?
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with bad intentions, obviously.
Or maybe it's not that they're intending to be that way, but they just are, and they don't realize how they are. And I don't mean to say this as though I'm better.
No, I was going to say, our marriage is far from, well, it will never be perfect, but I was going to say it's far from perfect.
Yeah.
We have our...
I wouldn't necessarily would want it to be perfect.
No, it never will. It will
because
never
it goes
be
to the
perfect.
same thing. If it's always perfect, then how can you appreciate it as perfect if you don't know anything else? You would have to.
There's no such thing as a perfect marriage, by no means.
Sometimes it happens where you may have come off of a bad relationship and then you go into a good one, and so because of which you know how to appreciate that good one, because you know what it is to be in a shitty one.